So, hello, boys and girls. This is your educator Anup Kumar Singh, and today I'm going to start the remaining portion of our class 8 NCERT. This is a kind of a small information about me. I have done MSc in biotech and cracked some UPSC and PCS aspirant. I'm cracked some examination, right? Clear pre in 2017 and WBCS as well. And teaching and learning is my passion. Now, let's move towards the next slide. So, we are continuing with the NCERT class 8 when, where, and how part 2, right? In the part 1, I think I have completed, and this is our last topic. And after this, we are going to complete this chapter, and nothing will be left. So, up to in my previous class, I have discussed you up to the different sources of the history. Now, today, I'm going to just move going forward and just tell you what are the different types of sources of the history, or what are the different types of sources that from where we can learn the history. So whenever I talk about this, we have the some sources like the literary source, archival source, painting source, surveys and maps, and lastly but not the least, evidence from archaeology, right? So these are the some sources from where we can learn and from where we can get the exact accurate data about our past, about our Indian history, about our the modern Indian history, right? So let us discuss each topic one by one. So now the number one is the literary source. Now you know what is literary source. As I said, many bio that which is written in the form of document, right, which is written by the historian, by different researchers. These are treated as the literary source. Now many biographies were written during the modern period, which gives us authentic information about the people and the times they lived in, right? Many biographies, it means many of the biographies, like बहुत सारी आत्मकथाएं है ना, किसी की जीवनियाँ, बहुत सारी चीज़ें लिखी गई जो एक विच एक्ट एज द ऑथेंटिक एंड रियल सोर्स for knowing about the past, for knowing about the history, right? For an example, whenever I say about the biographies, we have an example of Mahatma Gandhi, and it was written by the William Shirer, right? William Shirer, Shirer. So these act as the literary source from where we can know about the Indian history or about the past which happened earlier. Now the printing press, which had been invented in the 15th century, gives us some data, and they were circulated in Hindi and English, also in the various languages. By the invention of the printing press in the 15th century, right? By the invention of the printing press in the 15th century, the people started publishing the different newspapers, the magazines, which also act as a source of the Indian history, or the recent or the past which happened in the um, early days, right? And it was circulated in the different languages, like I have some examples like Maharata in English, Kesari in the Marathi, Yugantar in Bengali. They gives us the useful information about the history of the early 18th and 19th century. Now see, this early and 18th 19th century, it means they gives us the exact information, because these are the newspapers which was published after the invention of the printing press, and this gives us the exact information, right? So and also we have the different various languages in which these newspapers were published, and these are the what type of sources. These are the literary sources. I hope you understood. Now beside this, we also have a magazines and the novels, like the magazines published by the novels published by the Bankim Chandra Chattopadhyay. He wrote Anand Math. Dinbandhu Mitra wrote Neel Darpan. Bhartendu Harishchandra wrote Bharat Durdasha, gave us detailed account about the condition of India during the British period. It means these are the some important literary source from where we can know about our past, about our history, and about our the conditions and the political and social life of particular period. Now archival materials. Now whenever I said the archives, I discussed on my first video that the archives deals with the collection of historical records or documents of a government. So we treat archival materials or archival source as also one of the most important source from where we can get the detailed information. Now official records and documents were are another source of history, right? These are as I said, that these are the important source of history. Now there are proper official papers of all government transaction. In these archival materials, we also have a detailed information of the government transactions, like the like what happened during the British period, how they used to transact, what are their accounts, how they used to invest the money in their trade and commerce purpose, in their shipping purpose, and other different purpose. We have a exact information by the archival materials or sources, right? Also we have the administration records, which was maintained by the British, as they believed that the act of writing was important. And we must give this credit to the Britishers, because they were the first person who started writing the archiving materials, who started keeping the archival materials, because they thought that the uh, writing or keeping the records is very very important. And to keep this, the National Archives of India came up in 1920s, and it was the contribution of the British that this National Archives of India, which is a big offices, a big building, right, which came into existence after the Britishers came here, and they established in 1920s, where they used to keep all the necessary required documents and the other government receipts and their accounts. Now, beside this, we have the gallery cum museum was set up in 1891 in Calcutta. Nowadays, it becomes Kolkata, right? As the Imperial Record Department. We also have one archival material source or building where you can or we can see or learn much about the conditions of the India, which was existed during the past, from this building, which is known as the uh, Imperial Record Department, which was set up in the 1891. And again, the contribution, again the uh, again the credit goes to the Britishers as well. I hope आपको समझ में आ रहा होगा, right? आर्किव्स मटेरियल्स होती हैं जो गवर्नमेंट जो अपनी डेटा रखती है और जिसको कहीं सुरक्षित रखा गया, वो किस तरह से हमें सोर्स, वो किस तरह से हमें हेल्प कर रहे हैं, ये भी एक इम्पॉर्टेंट जरिया है हिस्ट्री को जानने का. Now paintings, right? Now many paintings were made which depicted the people and their conditions during the period under study, right? We witnessed much painters who visited India, and when they visited India, when they saw the lifestyle, when they visited different courts, right, when they visited the different monuments, the learning place, they depicted all those in their paintings, and they give us the information about the lifestyle, the conditions, the social and the political conditions of India. Among them, the most some among them some important painters were Tilly Cattle. Just see my cursor, I just made it with the red ink. tilly Tilly Kettle, a British artist who had visited India in the 18th century, made many paintings on the themes of sati. Beside this, we have the painters like Arthur William Davis, painted Indians engaged in their arts and crafts, and his most successful paintings was Lord Cornwallis receiving the sons of Tipus as hostages. Right. So we have some painters like Tilly Kettle, जिन्होंने सती के थीम के ऊपर बेस्ड के ऊपर बहुत सारी पेंटिंग्स बताई. ये दर्शाया द सोशल प्रैक्टिसेस, द एविल सोशल प्रैक्टिसेस ऑफ इंडिया, जो हमारे देश में एग्जिस्ट कर रही थी, उन्होंने उसके माध्यम से हमें जानकारी दी. इसके अलावा आर्थर विलियम डेविस भी आए, जो यू नो जो जो टीपू सुल्तान के टाइम में उन्होंने पेंट करके बताया. एंड वी हैव आल्सो हैव द पेंटर्स लाइक जॉन जोफेनी, पेंटिंग्स लाइक टाइगर हंटिंग इन द ईस्ट इंडीज एंड अ बैटल पीस अगेंस्ट हैदर अली. नाउ दीज आर द सम पेंटर्स, एंड वी कैन से दैट दीज आर द सम पेंटिंग एविडेंस which gives us the information about the conditions or about the history of India, which existed in the earlier days, or in the modern or during the 18th centuries or the 19th century, right? I hope you understood. आपको समझ में आ रहा है. Just try to remember these names and their work, which are very very important. Now let's go to the next slide. Now the surveys and maps, right? Now again, these credits of keeping the service and maps goes in the hands of the Britishers as well, because in the early years of the 19th century, important documents were carefully copied out and beautifully retained by the calligraphists. Who are the calligraphists? Calligraphists are the persons who deals with the art of the map making. यानी जो नक्शा वगैरह बनाते हैं, उससे जो डील करते हैं, उनको हम कहते हैं कैलीग्राफिस्ट, राइट? तो ये क्रेडिट भी हम देते हैं ब्रिटिशर्स को, ब्रिटिश ईस्ट इंडिया कंपनी और उनके ऑफिशियल्स को, because when they had visited in the 19th century, they start making this kind of things, service and maps, which gives us the detailed information about particular kingdom, right, about their capital, about their market policy and other extra things, right. And those writings and their maps are kept in the survey of India. And even today, see, look here, as I said, right, that even today they are important and useful source of Indian history. It means they are very important to know about the Indian history, because these calligraphies, this map works, these surveys still have been kept in the survey of India, which was used by the Britishers. I hope you understood. Now let's move to the next slide. Now the evidence from the archaeology, right. So now many monuments were built during the British rule, and this constitute the archaeological evidence. When the Britishers entered India, they started making beautiful monuments and buildings, which also act as the source, because when the archaeologists excavate and when they research on those particular monuments and buildings, we acquire much knowledge about the conditions of the India. So among them, some buildings like Rashtrapati Bhavan and Parliament House in Delhi, right, India Gate, are some important evidence. Beside this, we have a Qutub Minar, right. Also we have the Parliament. Now other example we are having, that is the Madras. Nowadays it becomes Chennai. Madras has some important monuments built during British time, right. Among them Fort St George, which are built during the East India Company, are some example, right. It means these are the kinds of buildings, these are the kinds of archaeological buildings, evidence, sites, monument sites, which gives us the information about the history of India, about the condition of India, because still they are existing and people used to visit there. Beside this, also we have some archaeological monuments, like in Bombay. Nowadays it becomes Mumbai, where we have the Chhatrapati Shivaji Terminus, right, High Court of India, Prince of Wales Museum, the General Post Office of India, and also the Gateway of India. These all are the archaeological sites, and or you can say these all are the archaeological monuments from where we got the evidence about the condition of India. And that's why then the chapter name is when, where and how. So whenever we talk about the how, it means we are having this kind of sources which gives us the information, right. Beside this, if I talk about some different sources, we have some different sources, like we have a museums, we have a photographs, films and radio broadcast, right. Some historical photographs are also available. Some many films were built about the conditions of India during the 20th century, 19th century, like the films made by the Gandhi, which was directed by the Richard Attenborough, right. The also documentaries films were made in the year 2004, like the films like Lagan, right, Shatranj Ke Khilari. We have the museum, right. We have a radio broadcast role, which used to play some patriotic songs like Mera Rang De Basanti Chola, Vande Matram, which infuse the feeling of nationalism into Indians, into the people of India. And that gives us the information that how, that what was the methods, what was the procedure by which we can know about the condition and the lifestyle of India. And these are some important evidence. I hope you understood, and this is the end of our chapter. So here we completed the chapter, the very first lesson of class 8, when, where and how, part 2. And rest of the and for the other videos, you can just go through my previous videos. So I hope you understood. Please give the feedback, and I will give you the homework in the next slide, or I will message you, right. So please stay safe and stay happy. And if you haven't subscribed my channel, so please subscribe it. Have a good day and have a lovely day ahead. I hope you enjoyed, and please utilize this time and have a and keep a safe distance from others. Thank you.